What is going on, guys? Matt Downs with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports here to cover this Prizepicks slate yet again. We started this new series 2 days ago. The first day I went 5 for 5 on Prizepicks, and yesterday went 3 of 5, so still not that bad. And 2 of those plays were on the same person, so you could say I went 3 of 4. Mitchell Robinson just decided to go out and have like the only good game of the entire Knicks roster. And still, let's go ahead and recap. Booker hit the over of 39.5 fantasy points. RJ Barrett hit the over of 27.5 fantasy points. He was the second best player on that team, thank goodness. Mitchell Robinson missed the under of 25.5 fantasy points and also the under of 8 rebounds. And then Jay Crowder hit the 20.5 over of fantasy points. And I know a lot of you grabbed him at 21.5. And if you did, he literally got to 21.6. So he hit the over by 0.1 points. And it's funny because Booker and Jay Crowder were like the only guys that really weren't doing anything on the Suns roster. So nonetheless, I think overall we had some pretty good success. So let's go ahead and jump into my favorite overall picks here for this Prizepicks slate. Coming in as my honorable mention here for this Prizepicks slate is going to be Dinwiddie, over 5.5 assists. I'm going to be giving this a confidence rating of a 3 out of 10. Dinwiddie has hit the over of 5.5 assists the past 3 out of 5 games despite Bradley Beal being back in the lineup. You also have to take in consideration that the last game was also a blowout. Even though Dinwiddie hasn't had the best past 5 game stretch, he's still putting up some pretty consistent assist numbers. Dinwiddie has played consistent minutes, and this is also expected to be a very competitive matchup here versus the Toronto Raptors. So I look for him to play 30 plus minutes yet again. Coming in at number 5 is going to be PJ Tucker, under 7 raw points. I'm going to give this a confidence rating of 5 out of 10. Bam and Jimmy are officially back, and they're going to be eating into his usage. Also, Duncan Robinson started last game, which is going to eat into the amount of times he's going to shoot the basketball. PJ Tucker has also hit the under the past 2 games Bam and Jimmy have been back. His usage dropped to 7% from his 10% season average. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Ciaco, under 46.5 fantasy points. Siakam has been on a tear as of late. Despite him even playing so well, he still hit the under 3 of the past 5 games. There's also a slight chance that Gary Trent could play, and that will eat into his usage. Right now, Gary Trent is questionable. Coming in at number 3 is going to be Patty Mills, over 2.5 3 points made. I'm going to give this a confidence rating of 7 out of 10. This is a fantastic matchup versus San Antonio Spurs and an extreme pace-up spot for him. Right now, the over-under is at a 234.5. Nets are also still without Durant, so there's plenty of usage to go around the starting rotations. And if you're in the revenge narratives, he's technically playing the Spurs, even though there's not too much revenge to be had there versus Spurs. He has also covered the over of 2.5 3 points the past 3 games that he's been in pace-up spots. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Jaron Jackson, over 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists, a brand new column here on Prizepicks. I'm going to give this a confidence rating of a 7.5 out of 10. Jaron Jackson is still playing without Anderson, Bane, Brooks, and Tyus Jones, so there's a ton of usage to go around the starting rotation. Despite being in foul trouble, Jaron Jackson went off last game. And again, this is a small sample size, but this is the first game he's played without those injuries on the court. It's a competitive matchup versus Nuggets, and he's expected to play heavy minutes yet again. This leads me to my favorite overall Prizepick entry on the slate. It's going to be Anthony Simons, over 33.5 fantasy points. I'm giving this a confidence rating of an 8.5 out of 10. He has hit the over of this projection the past 4 out of 5 games. He's also averaged 38 minutes over the past 2 games despite McCollum being back in the starting lineup. Simons averages 1.12 fantasy points per minute without Lillard, Nance, and Powell on the court. So right now we have him projected at 40.9 fantasy points, which is well above that 33.5 projection. And that will wrap up this video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this content. If you did, please do hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and of course smash that like button for all of our future NBA content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.